This is normally the point where I say something like, make sure you can do a frontside G-turn before you start trying this backside one. But in this case, I'm not entirely sure that's true. The backside G-turn is a lot harder than the frontside one for most people, but the two are so different in terms of things like body positioning and technique that they're almost unrelated. This actually has more in common with a straight nose wheelie, so it's probably better that you can do a nose wheelie in a straight line before you tackle this. Now, that said, I am going to spend most of this video referencing the frontside G-turn because I think most people will have learned that first. And it is a very handy reference point and comparison to show what's changed and how you have to approach the backside G-turn differently. Whereas for a regular G-turn, you're in a fairly natural position with the ball of your foot almost central on the nose. For a backside G-turn, you have to hang your toes over quite a lot. The ball of your foot should effectively be right on the toe side rail. From this angle, you can see the horizontal positioning much more clearly. Here's where I'd be for a regular G-turn, but when I'm going backside, I move all the way out here. It's going to feel very weird at first, having the ball of your foot right here, past the truck bolts, but this is key to making the whole trick work. Back foot position is going to depend a lot on your board, the wheelbase, your own natural stance, but I find pushing my foot into the kicktail, so I'm kind of nestled in the curve of it, really helps. And again, notice my toes are hanging over. I've got to be quite close to the toe side edge to make it through this turn. This is what it looks like from side on. You can really see here how I'm pressing into the tail with that foot and right at the other end of the board with this one. This is where getting the wheelbase right really makes a difference. If your deck is too long, this will feel too spread out. You'll struggle to do this cleanly. Once you've got your foot position right, you have to bear in mind that everything from the waist up is going to change too. One of the things I always loved so much about the regular G-turn is you open your chest, you face straight forward, but also you kind of like sling your hips out the side. You almost sit down on it and let centrifugal force pull you through this motion. You just kind of ride it out like that. You cannot do that with a backside G-turn. First of all, you've got to square up more. You're much straighter, which I think is why the straight nose wheelie practice helps with this. But you actively cannot lean into the trick. The second you start going out past that nose, you risk snow plowing, just rubbing the nose into the ground. Once that happens, you're going to fall. So instead, you've got to keep the front part of your body completely straight and rely on the back hip and the back leg to control the whole trick. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Oh! I told you, no snow plowing. Doesn't go well. The biggest mistake you can make with any G-turn, whether it's frontside, backside, 1 foot, hang 10, drop knee, whatever, is to pivot. There is a mistake that all beginners make. They get on a board and they think, right, so I've got to be able to balance like that. Okay, so I lift the back wheels. Okay, got that. And then I want to turn. So I want to like do that. The second you pivot, the second you spin, the trick's over. That kills all your momentum. It's not a spin, it's a carve. It's a very important difference. So what that translates to for the G-turn is that this back leg basically can only move in one direction, up and down. We flex the knee to lift the tail, we straighten the knee to push it back down. This plane of motion does not exist as far as that leg's concerned. But that's why we've got our feet where they are. We have to push everything into that toe side rail and carve backside. Now earlier I said that unlike the regular G-turn where you kind of sit on it, this one feels very straight up, but you do have to lean out, you have to overcommit slightly. Everything is going to be pretty straight, but you need to be out that way. And that is a very, very scary thing to do. Especially because you cannot carve without a bit of speed. So you better be comfortable with rolling fast because this is not going to work slowly. Hey, back here now. Case in point, very slow version. Freestyle speed. Oh, it's horrible. You don't really get a carve. You end up just doing a pivot anyway. Pick the speed up, totally different kettle of fish. Oh, See, you get a bigger arc, you get a proper carve. It's a lot scarier because you're overcommitting, like you're really like leaning into the void. But oh my God, is that fun. So the next problem is, what do you do to end your G-turn? Because when you go frontside, as we just saw, it's quite easy just to slam that nose into the ground, just spin 1 or 2 360s, wick off all your momentum and either roll away clean or stop to talk to a camera like an awkward fool. But the point I'm trying to make here is that that's not really an option when you go backside. As we've just discussed, you are really overcommitting. You are way too far forward for that nose to touch it all, because then you slam. But you can't really use the same technique. You can't use the same idea to start spinning. It doesn't help. That is the hardest way to spin. Now, I'm no good at spins. I'll be the first to admit that I are weak to learn it. Cannot go frontside, cannot go backside, but even I can do a couple on the nose at the end of a G-turn. So I asked around, and one of my teammates, Felix Johnson, is one of the best spinners I've ever seen. He's got good numbers, he's got good form, just always looks good. And even he confirmed
backside nose 360s are incredibly hard to learn.
And bear in mind, that's the guy who can do nose spins like this. So you're going to need to find a different exit for this move. Now, I'll be honest, I don't do this trick a lot. I enjoy it, but that awkwardness means that's the only good ending I've found. Basically, just wait until the momentum is about dying off, push the back leg round, breaking the rule from earlier so you come out to fakie, and then you can do a bit of a spin on the other end. I'm sure someone better than me at this trick could think of something more interesting, but it's all I've got. So there we go, backside G-turns. I'm not gonna lie, this is an incredibly awkward trick. I mean, all wheelies are hard to learn because it's not like doing a rail flip. You know, it's not like something you can just set down in your backyard and just keep hammering away. Smack, 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 until finally feet connect with grip tape. Oh, you've done, you've landed it. Wheelies take a long time to do, a long time to get that balance point, but then it also takes longer to do them well. With any wheelie, form really matters. And it might be 6 months before you do one that you're happy with aesthetically. But don't be disheartened, persevere, put the work in, because my God, they are worth it. I have laughed like an idiot doing this trick tip today because this trick is just wildly fun. It is such an absurd feeling hanging out over the front end of your board and just hanging on for dear life. It makes me laugh like an idiot every time I do it, and that is way more enjoyable than flipping a board into your shins over and over again. So go out there, keep falling off the front of your board, pick yourself up and do it again. Because when you do get one, oh Lord, you will absolutely love it. Now go away. Can you wait and come back in 5 minutes when I'm done with the take? Because I would like to take a photo of you, but you're being really annoying right now. Go on, go away. Thanks, mate. See you tomorrow. Seagulls.